Avast ahoy and good day once again to ye mateys. I hope you are well this evening. I am extremely. I am Josh the Pirate, and here is with me my lovely wife,
the Mother of Bunnies, otherwise known as Keren. I'm not exceptionally well, but I'm okay. And I'm about to play a game, which always makes me feel better.
She's fine.
Fine.
And she gets to hang out with me for a few hours.
I do get to hang out with you. I already hung out with you today. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. Then why would you want to spend more time with me?
Gross. Horrible.
Yes, gross. Yes,
and
we are.
This is Siri.
And Siri is here. Yes, hi, Siri. Hello, smelly dog.
Perpetually smelly, which makes us suspect that there is something in the back garden that she has discovered and repeatedly rolling in, because she's being bathed.
Yeah.
And within 24 hours.
Not okay, Siri.
Yeah, something stinky, isn't there?
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Married somebody, actually.
Gross.
Yeah, it was like this kind of staple of being married jokes that you just joked about how much you hated your spouse, you didn't get on with them. I'm like, why are all these people married to people they don't?
It was a thing of the 90s, really, and it's the thing that I don't like about, like, coupling is really funny. And all those shows like Coupling and Friends, that sort of genre of rom-com sort of situational comedy things, where the men were clueless morons who treated women like alien species. I'm just like, I don't know how to make it happen. It's like, treat her like a human being. I don't know, with respect and stuff. It's not that complicated.
Or ask her.
And the women treated the men with such casual disdain, like they're all fucking idiots. Which, in fairness, they were, because they were written that way. But I was like, this is funny, but irritating. It irritates me, because it's sort of reductive a little bit.
Heard.
And it means our entire generation was raised with this sort of idea of
you should be constantly
relationships,
arguing,
yeah,
disdainful of each other,
or just confused by, like, I don't understand that they're so other. And they're not really.
Women are from Mars, men are from Venus. No, men are from Mars, women are from Venus?
That's the one.
Yeah, that one. Yes, we are a literal alien species, definitely not other human beings with which we can communicate and ask questions.
Men are from a planet bathed in radiation with almost zero life-carrying capabilities, and women are from such a high-pressure environment engulfed in horrible poisonous gas.
Says a lot about us as a species.
I'd say it's the wrong way around.
Yeah.
It's hugely high pressure, engulfed in gas. That's men, right? Like women, it's an equally hostile environment, but I think there's a lot less atmosphere.
Will eventually give you cancer.
Women are carcinogenic. You heard it here first.
Well, it's because for so many years our beauty products have been filled with carcinogens.
Exactly.
Yes.
Usually engulfed in gas for their exactly crisp and crunch, yeah, of our own manufacture.
Yeah, it's like when you go into the basement, of the game store where people are allowed to go and play RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm a lot better looking than many of my contemporaries.
I was going to say a lot less smelly, but
that too.
Then again, being crammed in a room together to play TTRPGs does tend to give you a bit of a whiff.
Like, yeah. It's not fair. And it's teenagers more than anything else. The people who haven't quite locked down what's actually, like, important about cleanliness and stuff. Like Siri. And we're back to smelling animals. Rage is here. Ray GM Radio. Rob, good evening, my friend. How are you? Crisp and Crunch. Good to see you, buddy. Kate, nice to see you as well. Thank you very much for banning all the bots. Michael Philippe with 6s in it instead of H's. Michael Phelps, possibly? I don't know. Some stupid bot. Filthy bot. Ban the bot with the mighty sword. So, I'm Josh the Pirate. Nice to meet you all. This is my channel, Corsair's Cove, which I run with my lovely lady wife.
The Mother of Bunnies. So, Karen, I'm a writer and performer. You can follow me on Twitter, where I'm currently getting mad about the fact that some Australian politicians are like, we should bring back this thing. And everyone's just like,
that never left.
That never left. That's literally been a constant policy since 1998. Do you
and it's dumb. We shouldn't have it.
It's a terrible policy. We should get rid of it. We shouldn't be bringing it back. We can't bring it back. It never left.
They just want to bring it back so they can talk about. It's something they can talk about and make boomers angry about. So
yeah, good times.
Am
anyway,
my politics showing?
we don't hate all boomers. Our parents are boomers.
I love boomers, some of them. I love the ones I like that listen to me when I talk. Apologies for eating on stream. It turns out I forgot to do that today. We ADHD'd pretty hard. Keren and I have both consumed a smoothie.
Yeah, that's the complete...
And not an adorable little bat.
Yeah, we spit roasted a bat. And that was our only sustenance.
My brain did a lot there in a very quick, short amount of time.
No, as in...
No, I know. I did that first. And then I was like, oh, that's funny. And then, oh, that's much worse.
No, a fruit smoothie.
Because he was crying. Anyway.
Fruit smoothie and nothing else.
It's delicious.
So we're eating popcorn.
Yeah. Cheddar popcorn.
Cheddar popcorn. Because that will sustain us.
Yep. So, and we're going to be looking at, and this is something I've been looking forward to doing for a little while now. And apologies for missing last night's stream. We were dealing with a thing. We've dealt with the thing. The thing is dealt with. The thing is now a wearable pair of pants. Let's say that. You're a worry, Josh.
I say that often.
Look, we do this. We do paparotica. So it's hard to turn that off.
The cause for concern has really been present for many years at this point.
Yeah. If anything, it's only getting worse. And I spent the day puppeteering, so... Which we will show you at the end. Because the thing that we spent the last 3 hours doing was the next episode of Yusuf's multi-classes you may not have considered.
Yay!
And I have an assembly edit that I will show you guys later. It's not finished, but...
We're giving you a little sneaky preview.
A sneaky preview. I am vaguely hopeful that the thing was not independently mobile before it became pants.
If you mean the fabric was really slippery and kept sliding off the table...
I wasn't actually going to be specific about what it was. I was implying that it wasn't like that, but yes.
It was a factor in a larger situation. Yeah. It was the situation where that wasn't really the problem, but it was definitely part of the problem.
It was causally linked.
It's a bit like, you're not really upset because you broke a plate.
Yeah.
You're upset because everything happened right up until and including you breaking the plate.
Like, if I hadn't been feeling that way, I probably wouldn't have broken the plate. It's that plate's fault. Somehow.
Ruined everything.
So, we're going to look at Host.
Yes.
Which we're excited about.
By Brandon Lee.
Another
one by Brandon Lee.
A lovely friend from the Ravens Ridge Emporium, the Ravens Ridge Press.
He was responsible for Cartograph that we did a couple of weeks ago.
Which has been hugely popular on our YouTube. Which
Thanks
is fair, because it's a really cool game.
It is a cool game.
Now, I believe Host was recently successfully kickstarted, which is really cool. Is it, Ravens Ridge, is it yet available for purchase? And if it is, throw up a link in chat, old friend. So let's have a look at this bad boy. The artwork is immediately, right off the bat, quite upsetting.
It depends, because if you miss the bottom bit with the eyes, it's kind of a bit nebulous, and then you scroll down
and they're like, oh, there's
the
eyes.
That's a face. I am upset now.
It's a face. It's a little reminiscent of Samurai Jack, both in color and style, art-wise. I quite like it. Not yet, but soon. Keep an eye out on our website. Will do, sir.
We will publish that Discord
so this is by the Raven Ridge Press. By Binabon Brain Babies.
I feel like that means something that I don't know.
Excellent. Another quite upsetting image.
Is that an eyeball?
It looks like an eyeball, but that looks like teeth.
Oh.
But it's probably an eyeball. And then there's just this, it's upsetting. Bibanon. Eyeball with worms. Yeah. Or blood vessels. Just blood vessels. That's all it is. All right, introduction. Host is a two-player tabletop roleplay game in which one person plays a parasite and the other plays the host it has infected. Host explores the concepts of memory alteration, trauma, mental illness, isolation, and violence. As these themes are inherently emotional and distressing, it is strongly advised that you do not play if such topics might disturb you.
It's okay, I got my emotional breakdown out of the way yesterday, so we should be fine.
About as freaky as the Aeon Flux intro. Ooh.
Need to watch the Aeon Flux intro.
As in, for the anime? Because Aeon Flux, the movie, wasn't that scary.
Ensure you are familiar and comfortable with your play partner and stop the game at any point if it becomes unpleasant. Wait, who are you again?
We met once at uni.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's been
Cool.
like a decade.
Sorry, I'm just gonna move the popcorn
Closer.
here where I can reach it, because at the moment I can't reach it because there's a dog on.
There's a dog who would probably like some popcorn.
Is she allowed popcorn?
Too late. She's got some.
Oh, well, hopefully it won't kill her. Pretty sure she's eaten some off the floor before.
She didn't kill her yesterday. The game host revolves around players establishing memories. The host might recall more details to repress those memories, or the parasite may corrupt them until they consume the memory whole. Collaboratively, you and your play partner will create the tragic story of the host and their parasite. It's another collaborative storytelling game.
Excellent.
Yeah, the source cartoon got pretty freaky. I'm sure it did. Sorry, guys, this will almost certainly be a hard out for me pretty quickly. Fair enough.
No, fair.
Crisp and Crunch, that's absolutely fair. Good to know.
We'll try and do something more light-hearted next
We will see, though. Yeah, basically, this is entirely upon you. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slap a content warning in the title.
Ooh. Trauma, mental health, violence.
Review. Host.
Like, some people get funny about content warnings, but I'm like...
Yeah.
It's
It's a
just,
good idea.
yeah. Because, honestly, it can be really weird things that bother people,
Yeah.
and it's worth, like, flagging them.
Done.
There we go. Content warning, addict.
Yeah. Trauma and mental health. Did I spell trauma right? It doesn't feel like I spelled trauma right.
No, that is not how you spell trauma. It's A-U. But in fairness, English is a dumb language. There we go.
There we go. Better.
Correctly spelled content warning. But honestly, sometimes content warnings can be great. Because then they're like, hey, this has got sex in it. And I'm like, sweet.
Awesome. All right.
Love it.
To play, you will need a standard deck of playing cards, a notepad, a pencil, and about 30 minutes. And
Okay.
a quiet, comfortable space. Playing cards. I have the perfect set.
Oh, yeah, the creepy ones.
The creepy Alchemy of England set. The ones that
Yay.
are covered in blood already.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. The diamonds particularly are covered in blood. I can't see it.
Who doesn't love stuff covered in blood?
Yo.
I had to make a fake
Scarlet.
blood-splattered sheet for a show once, and the dog curled up and went to sleep on it. It was really quite upsetting to walk into the room, and there's just this dog asleep on a blood-splattered sheet.
Alright. Split the deck into red and black cards. Okay, that'll just
Well,
take,
how about you give me
that'll
half?
take me a hot minute.
Yeah, give me half.
I was going to say, you entertain the lovely people. Haul out the jokers as well. I got blacks.
We're anti-segregation usually, by the way.
No, I just can't be bothered fixing the deck after I... There's jokers. Oh, there's 3.
Is that a
Is
joke
there
or is it
normally
Jack?
3? That's all... an ace of diamonds.
Oh, never mind then.
It might be a jack, because this says 1 on it.
Nah, it's not a Jack. There's the other Joker.
Decide who will be the host and who will be the parasite. Aha! Well,
Now, we agreed that we would roll for this, so we
Because-
don't have to get into an argument about who is the host and
Which
who's
of
the
us in our
parasite
relationship.
Double checking I don't have any jokers in here. I don't. There's black cards.
okay. Shuffle them. Each player must choose an archetype. Give the black deck to the host and the red deck to the parasite. Then
Alright.
slide a joker into the middle of each.
Well, does someone in chat want to roll
Yes, can we get a...
D2?
Um,
Should we- 1 or 2?
I'll be highs.
Okay.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, highs means
For
2.
me, yeah, if to decide whether or not I am the host, if it's a 2, I'm the host.
Okay. Cool. Exclamation mark roll space 2. And if it's a 2, Josh is the host.
A 1. I am the parasite.
Haha!
Yay! That's what I wanted.
You wanted to be the
I
parasite?
wanted to be the parasite.
Cool. Well, you need to have these red cards.
Does it matter?
Black deck to the host and the red deck to the parasite. Hey,
Okay.
we're gonna do this properly. So swap.
Well, I shuffled your cards and you shuffled mine. That kind of works.
Fun fact, I actually have done work as a party host. Normally hens parties.
I mean, I've done it. With children.
Mm.
Different. Different. Each player draws a hand of 5 cards.
Okay.
Begins with both players taking their initial action, starting with the host. Then play continues with each player taking a single action turn by turn, starting with the host.
Okay.
The host wins if they repress 3 memories. The parasite wins if they consume 3 memories. The game is a tie if both decks run out of cards. During host, both players will establish the memories of the host character. These are represented by playing cards and should be played sideways in the play area to show they are a memory. When a memory is corrupted or recalled, the card representing this should be played upright to the memory. The value of a memory is always the value of the most recent card added to it, either by corruption or recall.
Or the memory itself.
Okay.
Keywords.
Each parasite archetype comes with a list of keywords. Keywords are used when the parasite corrupts a memory. They could serve as inspiration for the nature of the modification. You should write your starting keywords down and keep a list of any more you acquire. There's a small typo. Any more needs a space. A list of any more you acquire from the grow action. You can have duplicates of the same keyword. When a keyword is used, it should be crossed out. Oh, okay. Noted. Jokers are special cards that represent the parasite sinking its teeth in deeper. Hey, Morphs! Good evening.
Content warning.
Yes, content
Trauma,
warning,
mental
trauma
health,
and mental health in this one. Potentially. We'll see.
These guys are gonna learn.
I mean, it's probably going to be a little traumatic.
I'm not gonna laugh, but I will be mildly amused later if we end up traumatizing ourselves.
Cards in play. So, the host establishes a memory, parasite corruptions, host recollections. Current value of the memory is 4 because that's the top card. Actions. Below, you will find each of the 6 actions in the game broken down and explained.
Actions will help you develop the narrative of the game.
Repressing a memory is a way for the host to stop the parasite eating at their mind. To repress a memory, you must play a card from your hand with the same value as a memory that has no corruptions on it.
Pile up all the cards associated with that memory and remove it from play. Repress 3 memories in total to win the game as the host.
Sure. Establishing a memory is a way to learn more about your character and their experiences. To establish a memory, play a card from your hand and narrate the memory it represents. This could be a scene, a feeling, an interaction, or a situation your character experienced. If you need inspiration, look at the memory table of your archetype. Recall. Recalling parts of your memory is a way to add detail to an already established memory. To recall, play a card from your hand with an equal or lesser value to an already established memory. Narrate the extra detail about the memory. If a memory has been recalled 3 times, set it aside and count it as repressed.
Interesting. Parasite actions.
Corrupting
so
a memory.
Assumes you have to do the second one a few times.
Yeah, well, you have to be the one to establish, unless I seed them. Corrupting a memory is a way for the parasite to twist the mind of the individual it occupies. To corrupt a memory, play a card with equal or lesser value to an established memory. Then choose an available keyword as inspiration and narrate how the memory has changed or twisted in some way. Seeding a memory is a way for the parasite to inject false memories into a mind of their host. To seed, play a card from your hand and narrate the memory it represents. A seeded memory counts as an established memory. So you can modify memories I've seeded.
Ooh. Getting all Inception on this shit.
Yeah. And grow. When your parasite grows, it acquires new keywords to manipulate its host with. To grow, both players reveal the top card of their deck and draw. Gain the 2 keywords from your archetype corresponding to the value of the revealed cards. Ha ha ha. Then narrate something about your parasite. This could be its demeanor, appearance, origin, or history. Ooh.
In what form will you leech from me?
Example play. AJ and Tate. Huh. I know who tested this one out. Sit down for the for a game of host and set the table up following the setup procedure. AJ has decided to be the fighter host, and Tate has chosen the demon parasite. AJ takes her initial action, answering the question and establishing a memory. I think my host's hometown was attacked by a swarm of otherworldly creatures in their youth. It hardened her into a survivor. I'll play this 7 of clubs to establish that memory. Very well. AJ then draws a card from her deck, a black cards. Next, it is Tate's turn to take his initial action, which he narrates, then takes the seed action. Later in life, you came across a magic hammer. You made the mistake of taking this hammer, and as a result, I was unleashed. I'll use this as King of Hearts. Tate then draws a card, and it's now AJ's turn. She elects to take the recall action, adding the Jack of Spades to the memory about the hammer. I recall this hammer belonging to a strange merchant I met deep within a mountain range. I was out there hunting, and the merchant appeared at my campfire. AJ then draws a card, and it's Tate's turn. He decides to take the corrupt action, playing an 8 of diamonds to the hammer memory. I'll corrupt that memory, and I'll use the keyword violence from my initial keywords. I think this merchant didn't actually just appear. Instead, you captured him from a nearby village, dragging him off into the mountains to kill him. Tate draws a card, and AJ decides to establish a memory with the 4 of clubs. I'm going to establish a new memory. I'm going to look at my memory table for inspiration to... Okay, a memory about about a test of morals. Maybe in my childhood my family were poor, and I had just caught a wild rabbit to eat. On my way home, a street urchin about my age begged for food, and I gave him the rabbit. Wow. AJ draws a card, and Tate corrupts the hammer memory again, this time using the greed keyword, and a 6 of spades. I think you took this hammer from the merchant. Along with all of his other belongings, you became enraptured with acquiring wealth.
Tate draws a card, and AJ decides to repress the memory about the rabbit. She plays a 4 of spades and sets the memory aside. Nice. I'm going to repress the rabbit memory, and I think our family ended up adopting the urchin, and he became like a brother to me.
Aww.
AJ does not draw any card after repressing a memory, but now she has to repress 2 more memories to win. Tate decides to corrupt the hammer memory one last time, using his only remaining keyword, paranoia. When you took this merchant into the hills, you were convinced he was the one behind the monster attack on your village all these years ago.
Ah.
Tate has now corrupted this memory 3 times, so he consumes it by setting all the cards associated with that memory aside. He now has to consume 2 more memories to win the game. After this action, it's probably a good idea for Tate to take the grow action so he can get some more keywords now that he's run out.
So what's to stop the player from just the host from just repressing 3 cards? To repress a memory, you must play a card from your hand with the same value as a memory that has no corruptions on it.
So you can only repress an uncorrupted memory.
And you can only repress one...
And you have to do that 3 times to win the game.
And you have to have a high enough card.
Yep. That's have the same value as the memory.
Or lower. Same value as the memory.
Has no corruptions on it.
Right, so you can only repress it if you... So you're going to be wanting to play a very low value card to repress it, so you can play something that's... Let's play a card in your hand with the same value as the memory that has no corruptions.
Right. So you would have to have like another 7, for example, to repress it. Whereas
if you recall 3
times, equal or lesser value to the orally established memory. So actually, you want to put a higher card down.
So you want to put big high numbers down
to make it easier to recall.
Yeah. Narrate the extra detail about it. If a memory has been recalled 3 times, set it aside and count it as repressed. Cool. Okay, so there are 2 different ways to repress.
Yeah. And corrupt also needs to be a card of equal or lesser value.
Yeah. Seeding is the same. It's
creating a memory, so you're picking a card for that.
And growing is gaining keywords.
Okay, both players reveal the top 2 cards of their deck and draw it. Gain the 2 keywords from your archetype corresponding to the value of the revealed cards. Cool.
Yeah.
Because we start by drawing 5 cards and choosing our archetypes.
This music is far too plinky plunky and happy for this game. I'm going to throw on some scary vibes.
Something more ominous.
Right. So I think, like, looking at it, you need to, as soon as something gets put down, you need to corrupt it.
If you can.
Be interesting.
So you can kind of protect your memory.
Can you corrupt equal or lesser value?
So you can make them safe, but it's a lower number, so you're less likely for them to be able to be corrupted, but then you're less likely to be able to...
Yeah. It'd be a good tactic to knowingly have 2 of the same cards in your hand, so you can immediately...
repress.
If it's very low.
You can just repress the shit out of some stuff.
Boom. Nail it. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Host playbook. Actions. Repress. Oh, this is just a sort of something to help you remember. Archetypes.
Okay.
The fighter. The lover. The victor. The dreamer. Those are the 4. You want to roll for it?
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly watch the podcast. I think it's...
Valid. Yeah, let's have chat roll for it. Keren is one of these 4. If we can get a D4 in chat, ! roll space 4, that will decide which one Keren will be.
A fighter, a dreamer.
The lover or the victor.
It's a victor.
And what else we got? The artwork is very cool. It's very evocative. A 1 from Radio Rob.
Okay.
All right, you are the fighter. You were driven to the brink by a climactic event in your past. What was the event? How did it shape you? This is your initial action. Establish 1 memory.
Okay.
So you get 5 cards.
And I can look at these as you?
Yeah, you can look at your hand.
Cool. So I need to establish 1 memory about myself. Interesting. Well, I shall play
Put it down here.
Jack of Clubs.
Jack of Clubs.
Which is
sideways.
a beloved tale.
A beloved tale.
So I have to tell a beloved
Yes.
tale. Okay.
About your character.
They
are a fighter. They were driven to the brink by a climactic event in your past. What was the event before that? How did it shape you? Then tell us about the memory.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you do?
I'm going to say that I was returning to my home after several years away.
Uh-huh.
At battle. And, I barely got back. I'm, like, reunited with my family when there was a massive flood and the whole village kind of got, like, wiped out.
Gosh, okay.
Hey, you want trauma? I'll give you trauma.
Yeah. And how did that shape you?
Well, it... Basically, I struggle to view anything as permanent. I don't get too attached to them.
Okay, cool.
Interesting, because I have a parasite. Get it? Yeah.
What's the setting as well? Are we fantasy?
Yeah. Let's just do generic fantasy world.
We're in a generic fantasy world.
TM.
TM. RPG. Copyright not. While you write that down, I'm going to have a look at the archetypes for mine. The drone, the demon, the depression, and the society parasite. Your host people have willed you into existence.
Ooh.
What seeded your birth? That's dope. All right, I need another D4 in chat, please. All of these are cool. Because my brain immediately goes to Yerks from Animorphs.
Yerks?
They're slugs that go in your ears and wrap themselves around your brain and control your body.
Right.
I
was thinking of the thing from the new Star Trek movie where they have the little like scorpion thing. And...
They're not just the new Star Wars. That's the Star Trek. That's the old ones as well.
Oh,
that's the Wrath of Khan.
Canon. Cool.
That's Khan. That's the original. That's that film.
Oh right. Cool.
They were yeah.
They use him to torture
Centaur slugs. Yep.
Yeah.
They force you to obey. They make you very obedient. Funnily enough, my assumption was that the setting would be modern day. I know, right?
Probably due to Stephanie Meyer, the host.
Ah,
The
right.
host drives me crazy because it is such a cool idea and a really shit story.
You do it, Rob.
Roll, Rob. Do it. Do it.
Seed a memory with the face card. Gain the keyword obedience. Ooh, that's handy. I need a new page in my notepad. Another one. All right, Rob. The drone. An event in the past gave you an opportunity. How did you come to infect your host? All right. So I reckon I am.
Sorry. Don't do it.
I reckon I'm a. Ooh, I am a fungal spore.
Oh no, that's the worst.
An event in the past gave you an opportunity. How did you come to infect your host? I reckon it was in the flood.
I was just gonna say, you know what happens when things flood? They get wet, and you know what likes wet?
Yeah.
Mold.
I reckon I was my host plant, my original plant, was brought downstream by this and sort of washed up, and it managed to sort of regrow in your village, and you trod on it one day, and the spores went up, and yeah, it's growing in your head. And I seed one memory. Keywords, initial keywords. The flood, like hello. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So the only video game, like proper video game I played all the way through was Halo 1, which Josh made me do. And I actually really enjoyed most of it.
Except the flood.
Except the flood. I'm fine fighting the Covenant, but I do not like the flood. I don't like the noises. I don't like the fact that you can't use a sniper rifle on them.
Yeah, Keren is a very good sniper.
That whole level where you meet them for the first time made me very uncomfortable.
It's supposed to.
I know, but
it's very good. It's a very good game.
the novelization's actually not bad either.
Yeah, the novelization of the book The Flood has a whole other subplot in it. Hey, Terrace, about a person who is infected with the flood spore.
Oh yeah, because you find the body in the game, but you don't know the story.
That's a different person, but yeah,
okay.
there are several, but yeah, his flood spore is weak, so he can actually sort of control himself a little bit.
Ooh.
As his body is slowly turned into a carrier form. It's horrible, and so he's just this tortured soul that occasionally has moments of vague lucidity, but he can't talk anymore. And he eventually sabotages. He's the reason no one else got off. They captured a Covenant ship, and they were flying it away from the station, from Halo, the other humans. And he was kept near the engine bay, and he managed to break free because he knew he could sense other flood on board. And he was like, we're going to take them straight back to Earth. We can't do this. So he sacrificed himself. I mean, he just wanted to die. He himself would say there wasn't anything heroic about what he did. But, yeah, he did save humanity that one time. I want high cards for memories, don't we? We both want high cards so that we can infect them and modify them.
Yeah.
Equal,
unless you
lesser.
want to put it as low to protect it from the other player.
Yeah, but it's only. Yes.
Yeah, Kristen could. I said it before. I'm not a massive
People play this voluntarily.
person.
Neither.
But some horrors just really well made, so I can't. Yeah. Take it, but I can certainly avoid it. I will not be watching Evil Dead Rises unless someone twists my arm.
On you, Keren. Halo was the first FPS that didn't make me motion sick.
You get motion sickness from those games.
Used to be able to when the resolution was lower. It was Uncanny Valley, sort of, yeah.
So fun story. In Perth we have this restaurant called the Revolving Restaurant, and basically it's the top of one of the skyscrapers, and it very slowly turns around. I think it takes like an hour to go all the way around.
Yeah.
So it's considered very fancy. You go all the way up to the top of the tower, and then you sit in the restaurant while it slowly rotates and gives you a view of the city. And we got given a voucher to go up there, and I got motion sick.
Did we? I thought we went with your family.
No, I got a voucher for my birthday, so we went as a couple, and I had to go sit in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the bathroom didn't rotate.
Because it was in the central core.
Such a shame. All right.
Play a card with a lesser... So, seed. Play a card to establish the false memory it represents. And I have to... When you seed a memory with a face card, gain the keyword obedience. That's cool. You also have a special ability as well. When you play face cards to corrupted memories involving conflict,
You may play face cards to corrupted memories involving conflict regardless of the memory's value.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay. Cool. Right. So I'm seeding. I've seeded, but I haven't described what I'm doing yet.
Have we gone all the way to the bottom of the sheet?
Almost. Depression Society. 2-player story game about a host and their parasite. That's it.
Yeah, cool. I was just making sure there wasn't anything tucked down there that we were supposed to be doing.
Come watch with me.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard the story, Terrace. Yeah, I got hired to write a horror film script, and I had to watch a bunch of horror movies as research, and it was a mixture of interesting and awful.
So, you're establishing a memory. Play one card from your hand and establish the memory it represents. Draw a card. You've done a jack. Now you can draw another one. Yeah. So, you are establishing a memory about...
A beloved tale.
A story that you like.
It has to be a story about me, or is it just a story I like?
It's just a beloved tale. I think it's something that you like.
Okay. Then I... a beloved tale. Sorry, my brain just went to like the least appropriate story for the situation, which was Anchorman. This is the tale of Ron Burgundy. Oh my goodness, the town crier, Sir Ronald Burgundian. Oh, I can't take anything seriously, can I? Yeah. Okay, Jack of Clubs. Okay. The story of the town crier, Ronald Burgundian, who went from town to town, sharing whatever news he thought most suitable. And all the children in the town would come out to listen to his tale.
And this is a beloved tale to you. Why?
Because I...
Was this when you were a child? You remember back?
I remember this story of Ronald Burgundian. And basically I liked that he was independent. He had this cool task that he had to do.
And he got to go around and see the world and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm just going to scroll up just to make sure we're doing this right. So... Each parasite archetype comes with a list of keywords. Keywords are used when the parasite corrupts a memory. They should serve as inspiration for the nature of the modification. When you write your starting keywords down, you keep a list anywhere of any more you acquire from the grow action. You can have duplicates of the same keyword. Okay, cool. So you burn a keyword whenever you corrupt a memory. Play. Set up. Each player chooses an archetype. Each player draws a hand of 5 cards. Both take their initial action starting as the host, then play continues with each player taking a single action turn by turn, starting with the host. Okay.
Right. So the initial action was establishing my...
Yep. You've established your first memory. You recollect a memory of yada yada yada, a beloved tale. Then I have to establish my own memory. I seed a memory using a keyword.
Which is 5. Feeble.
I had to watch a horror movie today with my girlfriend. Oh. Yeah, what did you
What
watch,
did
Terrace?
you do, so Terrace? And would you recommend?
I also love this had to.
Is it an upsetting imagery horror movie or more a psychological horror movie?
Now, do I have to use one of my keywords on this very first one? Is an interesting
Well, here's
point.
a question for Raven's Ridge if you're still around.
Tate then draws a card. Tate. It's Tate's turn to take his initial action. Seed action. No. Later in life, he came across a magic hammer.
Oh, okay. So the first one establishes that initial memory.
Yeah.
It's not separate. So the beloved tale is separate. I think we ignore that for the first one.
Yeah. So I don't think I have to use a keyword to seed the first memory. It doesn't look like it in the example game.
Yeah. Ravens, we were just curious because you have to put a card down for the initial action memory, but we don't actually refer to like the
Only used for the corruption action. Okay, cool. Right, so I'm making up a memory for your person.
That means I just made up Sir Ronald Burgundian for nothing.
Not exactly.
Tragedy.
No, because
I'll keep that for later.
no. That's your beloved tale. That's the first memory.
No. My first memory is the my home being washed away in a flood. That's what I mean. That is a memory that.
Oh, that's that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I will make up Sir Ronald Burgundian.
No, you have your initial action is how you came to be with me, and that's your 5.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and then and then the next turn we use the reference numbers after our initial action.
That's an event in the past gave you an opportunity to seed one memory. That's the memory I seeded. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not the seed. I don't seed the memory. You wouldn't remember how I came to be with you, unless you presumably. Oh, so you know I'm there.
I assume so. You're seeding a false memory.
This is it. I don't see why I would seed how I came to you as a false memory.
Well, that's the initial action. After that, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I didn't. I thought that was just added backstory. I thought who you are and what you did is just added backstory, and then you make up a memory.
Okay, Raven's Ridge. If you're still listening, who's right? Are we playing the card down for the initial action, answering that question, no reference to keywords or the little chart?
There's no need for keywords.
Or is it just backstory? And it's not a memory that we can then mess with.
Yeah. In both instances. My impression is that Keren does her initial description, then makes up her first memory. Recalls her first memory. Then I decide how I came to be with her, and then I seed a memory, which I make up.
Okay. Okay. AJ takes her initial action answering the question, establishing memory.
Yes, the question is just sort of backstory. The action in red can be whatever you want.
You were right.
Cool.
There you go. So, Sir Ronald Burgundian exists.
Yeah. A beloved tale of Sir Ronald Burgundian. And then I seed a different memory.
Right.
That one.
Using the keyword feeble.
Using a 5 of hearts. No, it doesn't have to use the keyword feeble. That's for corrupting.
Oh, I do apologize.
That's the chart for when I pick up cards when I grow.
Okay, I think I'm getting it now.
Yeah, I know it's a bit. So my memory for you is. I reckon something horrible from the war. Hey, X-Cat Darkness, nice to see ya.
Hey, into being
meow. Is that the noise you make as you meow as you phase in? It's like a Star Trek teleporter.
It goes
Meow.
meow. Shades of Super Troopers.
Or
It's
is it?
Is the scanner saying meow?
Is the scanner saying meow?
Meow?
Are you saying meow to me, boy?
Like
Do I dance around all nimbly bimbly from tree to tree? Do I drink milk from a saucer? Do I look like a cat to you, boy? I appear quietly and meow suddenly. Nice to see you, X-Cat. Good to see you. We are playing Host. Content warning. Trauma and mental health. Possibly. It depends how silly we get. I don't think there's any reason you can't play this silly. We're probably gonna. This is who we are. So, Keren is playing... what's the character's name?
the fighter. Claire.
Claire has gotten home from war. And then a
Flood washed away her village.
washed away a lot of her village, and in that flood there were the spores of a mushroom, and the mushroom spores got into her head, and now she has a parasitical fungus in her brain. I am the fungus.
You are PG obvious, of course. Good. Silly is also our default mode.
Hopefully. It's also the best way to deal with trauma. He says,
Comedy!
Whee! So you've recalled a beloved memory about Sir Ronald Burgundian, the town crier who went from village to village spreading the news. While I am planting in your head a memory of being constantly despite your capability in as a soldier, as a warrior, you were constantly overlooked by your commanding officers for promotion. They were always giving you the shitty jobs. They weren't ever really giving you, and they were doing it because you were some country hick from the back end of the beyond, a village so poorly made it would get washed away in a flood.
Ha! Even well-made towns can get washed away in a flood.
The town I was born in got flooded like 8 times. It's still there.
Most of the northern part of WA floods every year.
Planting in your head, says the fungus. That is a living pun. Thank you very much. All right, so first action. Keren, it is your turn.
Okay.
You can either repress, establish, or recall. Play a card with the same value as an uncorrupted memory.
And this can be a seed or a normal memory.
Yep. The memory I seeded is functionally a normal memory.
Right. I am going to...
Or you can establish a new one, or you can recall something by using a card of a lesser or equal value.
I am going to establish another memory.
Ooh.
I'm going to use the Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. What's that one? Gosh.
So if you could scroll down for me.
Queen of Spades is a tranquil moment.
Ooh. I'm trying to draw little pictures of the suits, and I'm not doing a good job. They look awful. The heart looks great though.
A tranquil moment.
A tranquil moment. All right. I am going to remember. It was the night before a battle. And for some reason I woke up in the middle of the night and I went outside and there was a bunch of shooting stars in the sky.
Cool.
And I just stood there and watched them and felt that it was going to be okay. And it was. We won. It was great.
Okay. So to I'm just getting my tactics.
Oh, and I have to pick the card.
Yeah. And to repress, same value. Recall a lesser or equal value to a memory.
And then that sank into the swamp. And that one sank into the swamp.
But the fourth one stayed up. And that's what you're getting mad. Funny story, that's how the people from where I'm from speak, because it was set in Somerset. The strongest castle in these isles. Although that was as close as a Londoner could come to pronouncing it. It's more like, that was the strongest castle in these isles, lad. So, I am going to corrupt this queen, the shooting stars, with a 5. Go low. I'm going to
I almost want a red pen to write in my corruption.
So the corruption is, so I modify the memory.
Mm-hmm. For the worse.
I reckon, you weren't watching it alone. You remember a second person, a person you respected, and admired, a fellow soldier of similar rank, who was like a veteran. And they said, that's a bad omen.
So rude, ruining my tranquil moment.
I have to use a keyword.
Yes.
Um,
Keyword is 5, which was fever.
Oh no. Well, no. No, that's got nothing to do with it. That's when I grow. I've got to use one of these. I've got to use submission, meek, or silent. So actually, I don't think that works because I can't really think that any of those work with what I just said.
Unless he was a higher rank than me, so I didn't.
I reckon it's submission, and it's you wanted to enjoy it, but he was there spoiling it, and you didn't feel you could disagree with him. I don't get to keep submission anymore. I burn submission. That's funny. And then I draw another card. I think that is the one, right? Yeah, it's the one. Cool. The same one that we were confused about.
Excuse me.
All right, your turn.
Right. Repress, establish, or recall. I'm going to recall something about this seed memory.
About which one?
The seed memory.
Ah.
That's the memory you gave me.
Yep. That was the officer. That was how they never. Yep.
So that is the 3 of clubs. On the 5 of hearts. Okay. So the memory was I was constantly overlooked for my promotion by my superiors who considered me a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
I feel like I impressed them by solving a problem of some sort.
Oh yeah.
Or does it have to be negative? Or I'm just adding detail?
I think either way. You're adding something to the memory that makes it more detailed, essentially. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say that my indirect superior had a particularly offensive nickname for me.
That you created?
No, they had a demeaning nickname.
Sure.
They used.
Oh, on you?
Yes.
Ah. That's horrible. Cool. I am going to corrupt this memory again.
Dun, dun, dun.
With 4 of diamonds. And I'm going to use the keyword silent. because your abusive senior officers overheard this veteran's comments and didn't like his spreading of defeatist attitude, and they pulled him out to be flogged, and you stayed silent, even though you knew it was wrong. Gets dark. Does get dark.
I'm just thinking that it's like daily floggings will continue
Until
the
the crew's
morale
morale improves. Yeah, exactly.
Just talk. I did not defend him. Alright. To the mud den again.
Very surrender and die energy. It was a little bit, yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta surrender and die, I suppose. Oh, here's a question. Ace is high or low?
Well, on this deck, they're 1.
Okay, so they're low. Let us... I'm going to establish another memory then.
Ooh. Interesting.
I'm going to put down 6 of clubs.
Oh.
Could you scroll down to my prompts, please?
6 of clubs. An object of sentiment.
Ooh, okay. An object of sentiment. I'm trying to think about objects I'm sentimental about. And I'm like, too many. I get very sentimental about things. Like, honestly, if my house did get washed away in a flood, it would also get rid of a lot of junk I don't. I'm gonna say that I have a little book from my childhood full of fairy tales. And I keep it with me for good luck.
This game is fun for creating tragic backstories. Does get dark. I'm sure it would. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's like as a mutual narrative. I reckon all you need to do is twist the premise just slightly, and you could make it into a positive experience.
Yeah, so I have a book of fairy tales from childhood, one of which might be Sir Ronald Burgundian. And I keep it on me for good luck. It's very well worn.
I reckon if you flip it just a little bit, it could be a warlock and their patron.
Ooh.
And the ongoing relationship between a warlock and their patron could be quite fun.
But their patron is a parasitic spore in their brain.
Well, one of them is demon. Like one of the archetypes is demon, or like a fae. The format of the game would be good for play through someone turning into an Ithalid. Ooh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Honestly, when we've done enough of these, I think there'd be a way to organize all of these little kind of games into like a backstory generation kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. Ravens, you're giving me explanation ideas. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. Like, it's cool. Do not get me wrong. But yeah, I'm looking for other ways to utilize. So what was the J memory? That was Sir Ronald Burgundian, wasn't it?
Yes, that is Sir Ronald Burgundian.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna grow.
Ooh.
Describe something about your parasite. You and the host both reveal and draw the top card of your decks, gaining the corresponding keywords from both cards. So, reveal a 7 of hearts.
4 of clubs.
Cool. They go over there. And I get a punishment. And the 7 is blackout.
Ooh.
That's cool. I like that one. Stagnant.
Black cat has lots
See
of
the memory of the
potentials.
face card. Gain the bit word obedience. Describe something about your parasite. You and your host both reveal and draw top cards. Okay, describe something about the parasite. I reckon when you're infected with me, your eyes slowly change color
Ooh.
to a shade that you really like. I think Claire is very fond of a light green. It was her favorite color. Feels like the word synergize with some kids on bikes character generation. Yeah. Feels like this could synergize with kids on bike style character generation. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh, you slowly turn my eyes green.
yeah,
I do like green eyes.
yeah. Green eyes and ham.
Oh, fun fact. The rarest combination of hair and eye color is red hair with blue eyes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Which is what my sister has.
Oh.
She's a genetic unicorn. Yes.
She's a genetic abnormality.
I'm just slightly too blonde to really fit the bill.
Yeah, you're not really a redhead.
No, I'm a reddish head. Radish?
Radish head. Your turn, my love.
Alright, so I can
Repress, establish, or recall.
repress, establish, or recall.
If you have a 6 or a jack, you can straight up repress that. Your aunt has red hair and blue eyes.
Ah, there you go. She is also a genetic unicorn. Equal or lesser value. Tell you what, I'm going to repress this memory again.
Ooh.
Which was me being overlooked for promotion. My superiors thinking me a country bumpkin. But my first recall, my indirect superior had a particularly demeaning nickname for me. Let's go with and one time they used it in front of someone very important.
Oh.
And I was humiliated.
Yeah.
I've never really had a nickname.
Neither. The trick with having quite an uncommon name, and I say I say I haven't got a nickname. I'm Josh the Pirate and always have been. But and that was my nickname at university. But all the way through my life, I've been the only Josh I knew until I started streaming. I was the only Josh I knew.
I know, we knew one Josh.
There was one.
Yeah.
Who's been on the channel.
Yeah. Other Josh.
Other Josh was is 7 years younger than I am. And almost everybody, people my age, there aren't many Joshes. Younger than me. 5-6 years younger, lots. It became very popular after that. So, my turn?
Yes.
I am gonna corrupt this one a final time.
Final corruption.
The memory of your failure to do anything about the and the veteran actually I'm corrupting it again. Now the officers punished you for it.
Oh.
And I'm going to use my punishment keyword for that. And that means I have managed to consume the memory. I started the Josh trend. Yeah, I know. I'm a trendsetter.
Strangely enough, there are still not many Kerens around. And Keren has become a demeaning nickname. But now I get to make the joke that I'm only 1A away from asking for your manager.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, I keep forgetting to draw cards.
Okay. I just drew a Joker,
Ooh.
which means I can either immediately gain 3 keywords, or I can corrupt a memory.
Immediately.
Yeah. Not consume, corrupt.
Yeah.
I just get a freebie corrupt.
Or 3 keywords.
Or keywords. I'm taking the keywords. I think they are more useful long term. So, yeah. I will draw 2 if you draw 1.
Yeah. You get a 7.
I get an 8 and a queen.
Ooh.
8 and a queen. And this happens immediately. I still need to draw anyway, I believe. Oh, hell yeah. So the drone. I get 7, 8, so another blackout times 2. An 8 is heartless.
Dun, dun, dun. Is Terrace your real name, Terrace?
Yeah.
Kind of assumed it was a moniker. Strangely enough, my mum did not call me Mother of Bunnies.
And uncaring. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
For those of you who haven't seen it, this is my Mother of Bunnies t-shirt that my mother-in-law made me. So Josh's mum,
Yeah.
the cricket machine, she made me a Beverly glittery version of my alternative logo.
The logo you made.
I'm just making everyone look at my chest now.
Yeah. Guys, check out Karen's boobs. Alright, so I'm one up on you. What do you do now?
Okay, well, I think I will...
Repress, establish, recall.
Ooh, I think I'm going to... So many options. I'm going to recall. I'm going to recall something about
Oh,
this one.
damn it.
Like, there's no reason you can't corrupt it as well.
No, I can. I just really wanted to put a jack on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm trying to find... Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Jack of Clubs.
Yeah.
Cool. This is the Ronald Burgundian. And I'm going to recall some more detail about his adventures.
Uh-huh.
So this is the 10 of Clubs. On the Jack of Clubs. My pictures of the symbols are getting better, everybody. Right. What more detail about Sir Ronald Burgundian.
Now, if you've recalled about a memory, you can still repress it at any time as long as it hasn't been corrupted.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you, say, had 2 10s, you could put 1 down, hope I didn't corrupt it, then put a second one down, and straight up repress it.
Yeah. Well, good to know.
Yeah.
Cool. Sir Ronald Burgundian had the most magnificent moustache in the world.
Can you say something that we didn't assume? Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this.
And that's my turn.
Okay, so you had a huge amount of respect for Sir Ronald Burgundian.
Oh, God.
You freaking loved him.
Here it comes.
Corrupted.
Boo.
With power word meek.
Ooh.
Turns out his mustache was false. It was a squirrel's tail that he had stuck to his upper lip, and one time you saw him blustering with a tavern keeper, and the tavern keeper snatched it and ripped it off his face. And rather than stand up for himself, Ronald Burgundian just slumped and walked away, and you never saw him with a mustache again. And I did that with a 4 of hearts.
It's tragic, guys.
Spoiling all of your work. Meek was hard. I was like, I want to use Meek. How? What a twist! Twist of Lemming.
Alright, I think I will
Draw a card. Ooh, no.
I think I will establish another memory.
Did I discover your plan to put 2 10s, one on top of another?
No.
Good. That was mean.
That was mean. How dare you go for Sir Ronald? I really shouldn't create anything wholesome because his whole job is to destroy it.
It's my whole point. The whole
Right.
point of it. Yeah.
Let's establish a new memory.
With an 8.
8 of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could scroll down to the table, please.
Yes.
Like, I don't believe I have to use the table, but I am. Because...
Last time you saw someone.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy corrupting this one.
You bastard. Now I know why you wanted to be the parasite.
I kind of want to play this with a terribly damaged host and just a wholesome parasite that is trying to instill confidence. Yes, Terrace.
I love that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yep. We play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole, like, your whole job as the parasite is to big
the other one
up. Okay. So the last time I saw someone. The last time I saw my grandma was the first time I went away to war.
She was on the other side.
What?
What?
No, as in she was
What?
dead by the time I got back.
Sure, for now.
She's an old lady. I'm sure you have nefarious plans to make the death of my granny as traumatizing as possible.
No. How dare you say something so accurate and yet so mean?
There you go. I am done.
You are done.
I must pick a new card.
I'm going to corrupt Sir Ronald Burgundian. um, with what though?
Well, you've already taken his glorious mustache.
The word blackout. I think after that, he spiraled. Whenever you saw him after that, he was disheveled. He took like that mustache was his pride, and he started like he was rarely bathed, and he was a drunk after that. And one night on the way home, when you were a teenager, you tripped over him, blackout drunk in the gutter. Yes, Crispin Crunch, of the street that the war was fought on. Siri!
At least she didn't start at that time.
She's like, no, you don't understand. I've got to go and fight with the neighbor. I played a 2 of diamonds as well. I'm doing very well at keeping the numbers very low. Making it hard for Keren to play on top. Alright.
That's my turn?
Yes.
Well.
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 Well indeed.
I...
What are you doing? Oh no.
I am going to recall something about Sir Ronald Burgundian with my ace. Get lower than that, biatch. You have an ace, don't you? You do, don't you? You do. You have an ace.
I played a 2. Of course I can play lower than that.
Well, you know, I tried, guys. I
Yeah.
tried.
You tried to save Sir Ronald Burgundian.
Yeah.
What do you recall about him?
I recall that a family took him in and helped him get sober.
Yeah, all right. Hmm.
And they all died in a plague.
Well,
I shouldn't give him ideas, should I?
well. I've got bad news for you on the whole do you have an ace thing.
Yeah.
The trick is if I don't, and you do, you can end that. So I just want to, I'm going to consume this memory now. That's my 3. And if I hadn't done it and Keren had another ace, she could have recalled it and she could have repressed it.
So I gambled that he didn't have another ace and lost. I feel like you're going to win this game.
You could have played it there and
I wanted to save Sir Ronald.
Valid. So yeah, I am going to corrupt Sir Ronald with Heartless. The family who took him in did it for a single night and they robbed him.
You're a terrible person.
Delicious memories. Delicious memories. Ronald Burgundian. Num 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 num. Oh no. Yeah. That's so funny and awful. Look. You're not wrong.
It would have been a real twist on this Anchorman story, wouldn't it?
Do you have a 6, an 8, or a 3? Because if you do, you can instantly just recall, or anything lower than a 3. You can just instantly yeet one of them out. We'll leave you to it, gang.
Bye,
Rob,
Radio Rob.
an absolute pleasure. Take care, mate.
You know what? Because you have 2 and I have none, I'm going to...
Save it. Save it.
I'm gonna do that one.
Valid. Plays a 2 on the one I seeded.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly.
So that was the 2. 2 of spades. On the 5 of hearts. Alright. And this was about how, yes, constantly overlooked for promotion.
Yeah.
Indirect superior had a particularly demeaning name for me. It was used in front of someone very important, which was very embarrassing.
Hey, Tony.
Hang on, I think I've used the wrong word here on my notes.
Spent all night at the ER. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I'm glad she's she's all right though. Tony's mum was not well with a heart condition. Felt something again. Better safe than sorry. Absolutely, Tony. I hope she's okay. Yeah. So wait, the veteran who got robbed was an invention of the parasite to begin with. Yeah.
I realized it was all a dream.
The veteran who got beaten. No, that one was.
And this was me being.
That was me. So there was the Keren made up the shooting stars that a veteran told her was actually, and then I made up all the bad stuff about the shooting stars. That was the veteran who got beaten, and then you got beaten for what the veteran said instead. And then Ronald Burgundian was also the one Keren made up, and then we fought over that one. But I eventually consumed the memory. This one is the one I made up about how people always overlooked you for promotion, and then you have managed to repress it.
Yes.
How? What is the final thing you did to detail that so you could repress it?
I proved them all wrong and got promoted.
Nice. 1 point to Keren. Tony, it's good to see you, mate. We are playing a game that, if with a slight modification, could be quite nice and uplifting, but currently is quite upsetting and horrible. Like, comedically so, but yeah, It can be quite heavy by the looks of it. I am going to... What's the 6? Sorry, what was the 6 memory?
The 6 memory was the Book of Fairy Tales that I keep with me for good luck.
Oh. I'm going to lean in on the... And the 8 was your granny. Yeah?
Yes, the last time I saw my granny.
All right, I'm going to lean in on the... I reckon during a battle, you got hit in the head and knocked out. And when you came to, it was gone. And I'm playing a 6 on it to corrupt it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to draw and I just drew a Joker. What does a Joker do for me?
Let's find out. Because it happens immediately. Jokers. That represent the teeth sinking, represent the parasite sinking its teeth, a little Joker. If you draw a Joker, the parasite immediately corrupts any memory with the Joker, regardless of value, or gains 3 keywords. Then both players discard 8 cards from their decks. Oh! 8 cards.
That's all my cards gone.
Yeah, what happens... The game is a tie if both decks run out of cards. Yeah, because... That'll be 16 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be like, I'll only have 2 more cards left, and we didn't do that the first time. I think the trick was we both put the Joker in the middle of the deck. So we were going to draw it around about halfway through. We've also been raided. The Lost Archives is raiding. Hey, raiders! Good to see you guys. Thank you very much for joining us. We are playing a new RPG. I think we don't do that for this time around. Otherwise, the game would just end.
Hang on, I'm just going to muddle it back in.
Oh, sure. Yeah, do that. Read. Yeah, favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. How was your day? How was your game? What were you doing? One assumes D&D. Let us have a shout out at the Lost Archives. They were playing some D&D. Splendid. Guys, how was your game? What were you doing? What occurred? What interesting things happened? Pretty Pixel, thank you for joining us. Aquatic Archie, hey! Madockin Man, Raid Shadow Legends. No, not that. Ooh, it's Avatar Legends tonight. Sweet! Keren is a fan of Avatar Legends. So it's Raid Avatar Legends, actually. Matt Flower, nice to see you guys. Thank you very much. We do not do Shadow Legends here. Have you, like I have, been offered promotional, hey, come play the game? And I was like, no, refuse. MK Lucifer, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Yeah, we are playing Host, which is a TTRPG by the wonderful Ravens Ridge Press. Brandon Lee, Ravens Ridge in chat. And yeah, it is a game about a host and a parasite. And the parasite is trying to consume and corrupt the host's memories. Where the host tells one set of stories and the parasite is constantly trying to corrupt them. It's partially a little luck-based, but not very. It is, and I want a content warning, there is some trauma, mental health, issues with keeping it relatively light. It's still a bit funny. But yeah, it can be pretty nasty. The host, I would say, just from reading the rules, I would have said the host had a pretty good chance. And I would be keen to play the host next time if we do run it again.
Even though he's beating me currently.
If you draw the Joker, the parasite may immediately...
So there's no benefit in Jokers for the
For
host.
you, doesn't look like it.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, I think it's what balances it, because you only need to play, like, if it's an uncorrupted memory, you can just nope it straight away. It is very, very cool. Strong recommendation from us so far. And then later you guys will get a sneak preview of our latest YouTube video as well.
What rules? We don't need no stinking rules.
Hey, Chaotic Goblin, good to see you, mate.
See, I want to say that like they do in Blaze. Like, rules? We don't need no stinking rules.
Alright, so...
So every now and again people get on the internet and like, you could never make X thing today. And most recently was, you could never make the movie Blazing Saddles today. And someone was like, well, of course you couldn't. Mel Brooks would sue you for copywriting.
Nice.
I was like, my favourite response.
So
you just corrupted one of my memories.
I did.
Like the jerk you are.
So what I have to do, the goal of the host is to remember and repress 3 memories, while the goal of the parasite is to consume 3 memories. I can do that by I have to corrupt a memory 3 times before Keren can recall a memory 3 times correctly. But there is a trump that she has. If the number of the card, if a memory has yet to be corrupted, and the current value of it is the same as what she uses to recall, she can just straight up repress it. So she does have a slight advantage in terms of who can outbid who.
Not that I've had any luck drawing cards. With
I can also only play cards if I have a keyword to do it. So I have a limited number of things I can do before I have to grow. And gain new keywords from doing so. But the Joker really helped me out because it gave me 3 freebies.
Alright, it is my turn.
Yeah, red and black colors are just much more scary. I think it's also deliberate because you're using red and black cards. It's all card based, and you're using a standard deck.
Really should have looked at your cards when you just held them up.
Well. So it is your turn, my love.
Right.
You can either make up a new memory for us to start mucking around with, or you have to play 6 or lower for that memory, or 8 for the other one.
You know what? I'm going to...
There are currently only 2 memories in play. One was the last time Keren's character Claire saw her granny just before she went off to war, and the other one was a fond memory of a little childhood book of nursery rhymes and fairy tales that she lost on a battlefield after she got knocked out. I did that to her.
You know what? I am going to start a new memory.
Groovy.
With my King of Spades.
Nice. Love it. Love everything about it.
So, if we're going back to... Oh, no, we do.
You are
we
the
need
fighter.
the fighter. So the king is a call to leadership.
Ooh. My advice would be after you got home and the thing was washed away. But this is your memory to make up.
I was going to go with a battlefield promotion.
Sure.
Where someone important was killed and I had to take charge, but I did it really well. So I receive a battlefield promotion after my superior is killed. It's killed, and I do a great job. Not that I think they use terms like great job in the military, but you know.
So, you have a special rule that you can apply face cards to memories involving conflict, regardless of the memory's value.
Ah.
To corrupted memories.
Ah.
So you could put a king on that because it involves conflict now, because I put it in a war zone. I think that's what that means, and Raven's Ridge may correct me, but
Well, I've already done the other thing and written it down.
But yeah,
so
no,
I'm
no,
not going to
that's
do
fair.
that.
I am going to, because I have a special ability. When you seed a memory with a face card, gain the keyword obedience.
Ooh.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to play a king myself. And gain obedience.
King of Diamonds. What filthy memory are you going to plug into my grey matter?
I think on the theme of obedience, I'm going to put in regular beatings from your father.
Ooh.
As a child. It's not, I don't have to use obedience, but yeah, because I'm seeding it. No, you know what? I'm sorry.
I already started writing it down.
I was going to make up a nice memory instead.
Why would you do that?
Way more fun to corrupt nice memories.
Okay, sure.
So, let us instead say that you recall sitting on your father's knee. And he would always read you those bedtime stories. By the fire. And there was always a big fluffy dog. Puppy dog.
Our puppy dog is sulking because I told her off for shouting at the neighbours.
Valid.
Because she's not in the bed. Like, often she'll come and sleep in the bed near us, and she hasn't done that because I told her off, and she's salty about it. Is she a petty hound? Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty, I am going to recall some further details about this memory here that you corrupted.
Ooh. Okay.
The clump. We got 666.
Nice.
You're welcome, MK Lucifer.
And
Madokin
Man, thank you very much for the follow as well, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. My papa is also sulking because she was not allowed to eat the entire shoulder of pork I'd cooked tonight. What? You monster, Terrace, wouldn't let her, your poor little papa, poor little Tedder have lots and lots of pork.
She was probably so hungry.
Yeah. So what do you recall about this?
So
that was the book that you lost on the battlefield.
Yes. One, and yes, you corrupted it. I was knocked out and it was stolen. I'm gonna say that I start writing them down from memory in my spare time.
Oh. Cool. Like it.
Becomes my new little hobby. Instead of thumbing through it, I'll sit there and try and remember the stories and write them down.
I'm going to now. Yeah, now I'm going to corrupt using the keyword obedience. I'm going to corrupt with a different king, the King of Hearts. Your father was also a brutal disciplinarian.
That's
But you did sit on his knee and listen to bedtime stories.
Yeah.
Oh, she got the trotter though. Oh, well then she shouldn't be complaining.
Then everything is fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to grow.
Okay.
I want to win.
Father was harsh disciplinarian.
Yeah.
My father was a harsh disciplinarian in that my mum used him as a threat to be big. It's like, I'll tell your father.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, please don't tell Dad.
Please.
He'll
please
look at us
no.
in that disappointing way and we'll feel very upset for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And my father was harsh disciplinarian. There were beatings. Okay.
So where are you in relation to your win conditions? I am at 2 points. Keren is at 1 point. So I only need to corrupt one more memory, and I am 2 corruptions away from 2 of them.
Mainly because I've had no freaking luck just getting a card that lets
That's
me
already out
outright
there.
repress. So I'm
Yeah.
having to do it slowly.
You need a king and an 8 right now,
Yep.
and you don't have one.
I
Presumably.
don't.
Yeah.
I
If I was playing the host, we'd be done by now. I've had so many doubles. I have 2 doubles in my hand right now.
He has all the doubles. I've had no doubles.
I just played 2 kings back to
Oh,
back.
I only had one double. I had a pair of queens at one point, but you corrupted it before.
Yeah. I was like, that queen. Yeah. So it's...
Bastard. Okay, it's your turn. Hurry up.
Is it?
Yeah, I just...
No, it's not. I did that. That was the last thing that happened. You now need to do one of these 2.
Right. I am...
So in answer to your question, X-Cat Darkness, could go either way, really. Because if Keren gets really lucky, we are equally close. She's maybe a turn behind me if she gets lucky.
I'm going to recall more about this memory.
Ooh. So this is the book of storybook, the storybook of bedtime stories. Yeah. It is a bit like a tennis match. Yeah, I think it's very well balanced because, yeah, I'm winning, but I'm only winning. It looks like I'm winning better than I am, but I don't. I reckon I am. The thing is, the host can pull ahead very quickly. Yeah, absolutely. Until someone has definitely won, anything could happen. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to say that once I've written all the stories back down as best I can remember, I start making up my own.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute. Ooh. I am going to grow.
Cool. So I have to draw a card first.
Draw
anyway.
a card. 10 for my growing.
And you got a 9 from me.
A 9 and a 10.
I would have been so pissed if I drew the card I needed.
Yeah.
And had to give it to you.
Yeah. 9 and 10. Stagnant and detachment.
Stagnant is a good word.
Detachment.
Good woody word. Stagnant.
Bit tinny.
Bit tinny?
Stagnant.
Ah. Terrace has lent me his ferret luck.
Oh, oops.
I like to think a lucky ferret is a ferret specially trained to act as like the best scarf of all time. It's just wrapped around you.
So now I need to describe a little bit more about how our relationship goes. I reckon I'm getting strong now.
Yeah.
And I think whenever you wake up, there is spots of, it looks like dandruff on your pillow. But your scalp is starting to molt. My spores.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
The worst kind of dandruff.
It's damn druff. Thank you, Ravensridge. Gets a from Ravensridge.
I get fungus dandruff.
This is like my little tendrils are going up, actually. Ooh, and you know what else? Your hair. What color's your hair?
Brown.
You've got now white streaks in it. And they're not hairs. Oh no, they're roots. Oh no.
That's horrible. Don't know if I'm going to play with this with you again. Alrighty,
If we were to do it again, I would definitely want to try an
Yeah.
alternated version. Like, yeah, but play it as I'm trying to big you up.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Ravensridge.
Yeah.
Right, slowly building up to the Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure, like, I haven't watched The Last of Us. I will. I love Pedro Pascal. No spoilers, but I do know that I believe the thing in that is a fungus.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, that makes some zombies, yeah.
And if you are a Pedro Pascal fan out there, you should definitely go watch the
Knives Out?
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Unbelievable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah.
Something like, I think it's the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's also got Nick Cage in it. It's hilarious. And batshit.
It's got memes. That's
It
how
has,
you know
it
it's
has
good.
some very good memes. I think if it had come out after kind of the Pedro Pascal internet daddy thing last year, it would have done even better.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of before he really kind of...
Oh, because he's an orphan daddy to like everything, right?
Yeah, he's the internet's orphan daddy.
There was a lovely meme of him with Grogu in a front carry pack in a
Papoose.
a papoose with the little girl on the back of his motorcycle.
Love it. All right.
It's this cloud of orphans drifting around Pedro Pascal. There it is. There she is.
There she
2 for
is.
2.
Yeah, it's all easy.
Fully repressed. The memory about with a 5 of clubs, spades,
5 of spades.
numbers, places, things.
Cool. So this was my book that I carried around for good luck.
Yeah.
And Josh made me lose it, so I started writing it down again. And then I started writing my own stories to add to the book. And I'm gonna say, eventually, when I have a bit of extra cash, I take it to a printer's and have some copies made to give to important people in my life.
Cool. I am going to play the Jack of Hearts on the King of Hearts. This was the memory about how your dad
used to read me stories
brutal.
sitting on his knee, but also used to like beat me.
I reckon I'm going to use my keyword detachment. Your mother also became quite distant. She tried to protect you once from it, and he turned on her instead. So then she just sort of hands off with it.
Sad.
Lucky I put in that content warning, hey. Alright. Give me something good. Okay. Now, does Keren win?
What do you mean?
Well, it's your turn. And I am 1 card away from winning.
Right. So I have to...
So you either king 8 or play something on this one to block me.
Well, I guess I have to block you then, don't I?
I mean, yeah.
Well, I can try.
You can try, yeah.
Basically, I'm gonna put a 2 on there.
Ooh! Good move. What do you recall about this memory?
Well, this is one about my father being a violent asshole.
Yeah.
He also liked to read me stories when he was in a good mood. So... I'm gonna say... that he died in...
The flood.
The flood.
Oh. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Never mind. All
Or
right.
do I want him to die sooner than that? That's the difference. Like, how early do I want to kill my abusive dad? No, I'll stick with that. Dad died in the flood. I wasn't that sad about it.
Okay. I am going to corrupt this memory. Which was not Granny, it's the other one.
King of Spades was... I got a battlefield promotion after my superior was killed and I did a good job.
Cool. King of Clubs, right?
Yes. King of
Clubs. But by then the luster, the sort of the shininess of it, of the notion of being an officer kind of rubbed off a little bit. I'm using stagnant. And yeah, you just became... You were already done with it by that point. And I've used a jack on that king.
Jack of diamonds.
Yep. Oh.
Yes, there's nothing worse than getting something once you're kind of over it. So I drew my card late, and I got the Joker again.
Well, that gives me... I can either corrupt something or...
Yeah, you can auto-corrupt or...
I would do that.
Yeah, and then you win.
Which feels like a cheat, really. I feel like there should only be one that should be in my deck.
Look, we can ignore it again if you want to keep playing.
I want to see if I can beat you fair and square rather than have the Joker do it.
God, I'll draw another card then. Like, I'm not going to complain about that. Man, I really can't draw any fucking doubles in this game.
Well, the reason you can't draw an 8 is because it's already come out.
Yeah, I know.
It's in here.
Yeah. I'm not getting any at the right time. So I have to guess what's going to come up. And I'm guessing wrong.
The thing is, I can keep track of what she's drawn because it's or at least I'm reasonably sure you've had an 8.
Yeah, I do have another king to come. But...
Oh, no, I drew the 8. There should be an 8 in the deck.
It's going to be the last card because you just took the king. So even if I get the king now, establish another memory? Just feel given how close the game is getting.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that. Alright, I am going to recall on that one.
Ooh.
So I've put a jack on Josh's jack.
Ooh.
Which is Jack of Spades. On the King of Clubs, which was about my promotion, my battlefield promotion that I was kind of meh about because it had taken so long.
Yeah.
But promotion gets you a pay rise.
Yeah? Sure.
So, you know, I'm like, I kind of don't care anymore. And then I was like, you get extra money this month. I'm like, well, that's nice. And I send some money home to my parents.
Okay. Oh. I am going to play the 10 of diamonds on that one.
You
Can't
leave well enough alone.
Using uncaring, my very last keyword.
So you have to go next.
Theoretically, yeah. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh.
How you gonna ruin my pay rise? Huh?
Using uncaring, I am going to ruin your pay rise by you send the money home and you get a letter back from your mother saying, hey, don't. Your dad's just spending it on booze.
Don't send cash. Dad's gonna drink it.
Yeah. That qualifies uncaring? Like he doesn't really care where the money's coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, you got a 10? Oh, what am I saying? Do you get the 8?
No.
Well, you've got 2 turns.
Yeah. There's 3 cards there. One of them is that 8! And that 8 has been sitting there for ages.
So what are you going to do, Karen?
I can't remember what cards have already been played, so I don't...
So...
Yeah, probably...
I mean, that one's hard. To play lower arm.
Depends how low your cards are, doesn't it?
Well, the trick is, I can't do anything yet.
Oh, you have to grow, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm.
I ate the 8 card. There is only a business card instead.
Oh, I hope you had a bit of water or something.
Meow. Oh, meow. Phased out of existence again.
I do love it when magicians pull cards out of their mouth, because I'm just like, how did you get that in there? Were you holding it in your cheek this entire time?
My feeling is it was in their hand and it just looks like they pull it out of their mouth.
Well, I'm gonna...
Oh, oh. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna recall more detail about this story. We're just building this one up. So I put the 10 of spades onto the King of Clubs pile. So Mum sends me a letter saying, don't send cash. Dad's gonna drink it. So the next time, I send food. I send a care package.
Oh. I'm going to grow. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm going to establish, I'm going to seed a new memory.
Ooh.
With a queen, which, because it's a face card, gives me obedience, the keyword. Obedience. And this is going to be a memory about... about a boy you were at basic training with, who you liked, and you felt like he liked you too. And I'm not going to add any more detail to it yet.
Whoops. That's not how you spell training, Karen. Now, in a twist of fate, guess what card I just picked up?
You picked up the 8?
I finally picked up the other 8.
So as soon as I picked up the one that I could put there, or there.
But you didn't have a keyword.
But I didn't have a keyword.
So...
Karen wins.
I win!
But you could have won by playing it there as well. Like
I could have played it there. So yeah, I could have...
You successfully repressed the memory about how Granny died.
We didn't... Well, the story didn't really go much many places with that.
Yeah, Granny died. That was sad. Yeah, I had all the high cards last. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, that was great. I definitely want to try. Was it Terrace's suggestion?
Yeah, playing as a really depressed person, and the parasite's trying to big him up. Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be fun.
I think you need to shuffle the jokers in after. Otherwise, yeah, there's a few bits and pieces I would say about it. I think it's a really cool idea. It's a really cool concept. A really interesting storytelling method that, yeah, you could do a lot of expansions.
I got quite a lot of notes for this one.
Yeah. This one was big. I think the big one is the jokers, really.
Yeah, because it kind of...
I think the trick is I think they're needed because it does balance out the parasite. Because the parasite, if you'd gotten slightly luckier, it would have walked all over me.
Yeah, I just didn't really ever end up with doubles at the right time.
Like I did well at the beginning because I was
like literally the only time I was able to outright repress a memory was the last one.
Yeah,
I had to fight for the other two.
And I was like, I didn't want to put out new memories in case it gave you the opportunity to just straight up repress it.
Whereas like almost you want to create as many memories as possible so you have a better chance of having those doubles come up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think basically the trick is both players discard 8 cards from their decks doesn't make sense because you'll have a tie more often than not. Like, legitimately, if we'd played it that way, the game would have ended in a draw about halfway through.
Yeah.
And
maybe less cards?
either that, yeah. Discard. Even if we'd been obliged to discard just 4, that would have been my deck empty. And you only had 3 at the end. So even if it's just 2 cards each, that's hard.
Maybe it was just bad timing.
Yeah.
Particular game.
I reckon
I do like that it lets you corrupt any memory.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's much wrong with it, but I think 8, given that you only have 26, 16
like
of them going to your jokers, or 27 if you include the joker that's in there. But yeah, it does feel like a lot. Perhaps even discard your hand and redraw. See, that would be way more interesting.
Yeah. You have to refresh your hand.
Both players discard their hands and redraw. Or shuffle their hands back into the deck and redraw. Discarding, you lose 5 cards, which is not enough to play the game, you know? Like a particularly long, drawn-out fight over everything. If each card, if everyone's trying to take every memory, absolutely, you should run out of cards. But I think a draw it's not a particularly satisfying ending for a game.
You just shoot each other at the same time.
So I think definitely the way I do it is, yeah, I really like the redraw. I think that's a way better way of doing it. Basically, it's just like, all right, whatever plan you had, fuck it. Sorry, start over. Yeah.
That could work to your advantage.
Corrupt any memory with the Joker, regardless of value.
Gain 3 keywords.
Or gain 3 keywords. Then both players shuffle their hands back into their decks and draw 5 new cards. I think that fixes it, Raven's Ridge. That would be the only note I have in terms of actual how the game works. I think you've created a really cool little game there.
I suppose I think it was just where it came up in the game for us that I hate it when you almost get an auto end of the game.
Yeah.
No.
The trick is
I'm invested now. Claire must defeat the parasite.
Split the red deck and the black, and then set the jokers aside. Shuffle both piles, then slide a joker into the middle of each. Which means, from the wording of it, you're going to get the joker about halfway through the game.
You almost need to get it earlier rather than later.
In fact, actually, you know what it'll also mean? You'll almost certainly only get 1. Because if you've gotten 1 and the other one is coming up, you discard it. Which might well be the trick. But that game would definitely have ended on a draw if we'd even just discarded the first 8. So I reckon leave the jokers in the deck. If you want to have a discard, do 2 tops, I would say.
Or give them a choice. You can say, you can just, you can make both of you discard 2 cards in your deck, or you have to redraw all the cards in your hand.
Or you can decide to redraw. Give them the choice. You either discard 3 cards because you want the cards you've got, or you can shuffle your hand back into the deck and draw all over again without discarding. That'd be interesting. There's some thoughts. Yeah, I think I like that too. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Maybe you could add a bit that the winner describes the resolution of the story. Yeah, absolutely. How did it end? Did you manage to? I reckon the parasite was getting very strong. It was about to spawn. And that's when it's at its most vulnerable as well, when it's starting to expose itself.
Yeah, hang on. What was the last one?
I reckon you didn't know that you had a parasite. I don't think you realized you were infected. And so how do you get rid of it? How do you win?
Yeah, I was just looking what memory that was. It was my granny, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, you repressed the granny. Who was on the other side of the wall from you?
Granny.
Never repress the granny.
I think I go to visit my granny's grave to put some flowers down, and it's a particularly hot and sunny day when I do this, and I fall asleep out in the sun and I bake your spores out of me.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I like that.
Because fungus doesn't like too much sunlight.
No, it does not.
I'm gonna make a note of that.
Nice.
I kill the fungus
Yeah.
by sunbathing on Granny's grave.
Amazing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. Yeah, Post. Really like it. This has not been officially published yet, but it has been successfully kickstarted by the sound of it. And worthily so. I'm sad I missed it, but I'm glad I got to have a go. Really cool game, really cool concept, and a lot of ways to mod it as well. Like,
Yeah, you could definitely establish kind of how you want to play the game at the beginning, because it does come with the trauma and mental health warning.
Yeah.
Because you could easily go super dark with it, and really try to create. Because honestly, like the concept of being able to manipulate someone's memory is like really disturbing.
Yeah.
So you could definitely lean into that really hard and try to create the most disturbing memories possible.
and really good that the content warning at the beginning, like, yeah.
But that being said, we had the suggestion you could flip it around where the host is trying to, like, the parasite's trying to, like, big the host up. The host's super depressed, and the parasite is like, no, you're valuable, you're worthwhile, your existence means something.
And all you'd need to do to flip it on its head is have a playbook that has nice keywords.
Oh, heck, you just say, make it the opposite. So if it's embarrassment, it's sometime that, something that happened that made you feel really, really good in front of other people.
Yeah.
Or, if it was
Indulgence or hoard. It's just the inverse of it.
Hatred, love,
Yeah.
mistake. You made a really good decision.
Or it's that keyword, but it's where in a place where you didn't do it or it didn't happen to
Or
you.
it had a positive outcome.
Yeah.
So somebody hated somebody else, so that ended up positive for you.
Yeah. Terrace option was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crisp and Crunch made it through as well. I'm glad we managed to keep it nice enough that Crisp and Crunch didn't go like, I'm out, hard pass.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. Because neither of us are into that either, Crisp and Crunch. But it's still a really interesting story.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The most interesting stories are those that have both light and dark within them.
And even then, with the corrupting, there was no reason, like, I was playing it like a dark parasite that really wanted to drive you insane.
Evil thunder.
It's definitely got application for D&D character. Yeah, agreed. And it caught a bit of the stream, but the game does look super fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we will put it up on YouTube. So.
When we will put this up on the YouTube, and we will when there is a link to the game page,
we'll add it.
We will add it to the YouTube thing, and we'll put it up in the Discord so that interested parties can purchase.
I love the layout as well. It looks really good.
Yeah,
like the document looks. Really
it's a really good book. Yeah.
All of these so far have been wonderful, like, backstory development devices
Yeah.
as well. Like, they're fun to play just on their own, but if you wanted to develop a backstory for someone who had a parasite, then...
You are the character is the parasite. It's not actually the...
Oh, well, depending on how it ends, whether the
Yeah.
parasite wins or the host wins, so the character is either controlled by the parasite or has this history of having had the parasite.
You know what would be really cool, particularly for a stream game, or even just for a home game? One of the players has a parasite, has this, and he and the DM, or they and the DM, outside of the sight of everybody else,
Are playing this.
play this game, play a round or two of it between every session. So this person gets progressively more and more fucked up, and they RP that without anybody else knowing what's going on.
Yeah, they're only told the changes that are made. They're not involved in the process.
Yeah.
Just the end of the session.
They don't even know that's even happening.
The parasite has convinced you that...
It could be even that they don't even know that this person there's another layer of storytelling going on. And then it only comes out at the end
Dun, dun, dun.
I have a penchant for games which are also utilities for my normal RPGs. Yeah. Sick idea.
Yeah, find a way to layer it into a pre-existing campaign, and then surprise parasite. One of the characters explodes into spores. Oh,
like,
that's horrible.
Trish or Selenox could apply in either way. I mean, actually, come to think of it, Helvig and Nevermore both have parasites. As does Eric, technically.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
it would be so much fun to play it as Eric and his parasite. Hope, the lovely little fire elemental that lives in his chi.
Yeah, she's definitely a positive build-you-up parasite.
Whereas Irilaf, yeah, she's a positive build-you-up parasite. The demon that lives in his eye.
Nothing creepy about that at all.
Yeah. Like, you would not have to do a lot with this one. But Irilaf's whole thing is actually a building Nevermore up.
Yes.
So it's an interesting...
She has her own motivations.
Yeah. So, guys, that's Host. That's really fun and groovy, and it was really fun and groovy. Thank you very much for sharing it, Raven's Ridge. I hope you enjoyed our attempt at it. Thank you for being here to talk us through the problems.
We got a bit confused at the start,
yeah.
but we worked it out.
And, having playtesters is always helpful. I assume you did actually play this with AJ and Tate as well, or have them have a go at it. In order to gain powers / boon from your patron, you need to play a round of this game to determine the outcome. Oh, yes. That's cool.
I like that.
Julio and the tree.
Who will win? Julio versus Tree.
Julio versus Treepo. So, I think we should show everybody today's work. Complete radical change. Now
about pivot.
Yeah, a pivot round.
Pivot.
Pivot. For those who are not aware, on our !YouTube, we have an ongoing series that I write called Multiclasses You May Not Have Considered, which is basically Dan hates it. Because he doesn't like multiclassing or the concept of it. Yeah, not a problem, Raven's Ridge. So it's basically, I take a look at, I come up with an idea. I take a class and I go, what would multiclass well with this that people don't normally multiclass with it? For example, we're not talking about Druid Barbarian crosses. They happen a lot, and they're awesome, but we don't need to talk about that because everybody knows how good they are. So, previous examples of this, I've had, my very, very first one was the Barbarian Wizard cross. Good fun combo. Not perfect, but at low levels, it's fucking handy. I have played a Barbarian Sorcerer cross, and it worked a treat. Barbarians can't cast spells whilst raging, but it's more like the opposite. You take a single level of Barbarian, so that when you're out of spells at low levels, not that uncommon,
you can suddenly make your weapon
and all of a sudden now I become better than a normal fighter.
I'm out of spell slots, so I'm going to go into a barbarian range.
You're like, wait, what? You could do that? Yeah. Ada Linda, who I played over on the Law Rights channel, is a sorcerer barbarian cross. And come to think of it, not Hjort, that's not my character. In the Candlekeep game, who am I playing? What's the name of the character? Dolph. Dolph is a warlock barbarian cross. He's mostly barbarian with a bit of warlock. In fact, no, he's mostly warlock with a bit of... Yeah, with a bit of barbarian. Though he's becoming more barb now.
That's Bob.
Yeah. Hjort and Dolph bros. Yeah. I love the three reindeer boys. Hjort, Dolph, and Bitson. One's a robot, one's a centaur, one's a minotaur, and one is a servant, technically. But yeah, they're all reindeer bros.
Anyway, sidetrack.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, this is the concept.
So that's the concept. We've got 4 episodes out already, and we've written and filmed, and, well, I wrote it yesterday. We're doing something a little bit different. Today, I wrote my ultimate level 20 combat build. So, biggest hit, most endurance, and we made a video about it. It's a little bit longer. It's about 6 minutes. And we will show you now, and I'd love to have your thoughts live on chat, in stream, to see what you guys think. Is that your day job, Absalom Deck? Absalom Deck. We are puppeteers by trade. Performers, puppeteers. We do a puppet show called Pupperotica. Puppets reading erotic fiction. So by firelight. Yeah. For those who came in with the raid, thank you guys so much for joining us. Laughing out loud. Way! Yeah, so if you check out our YouTube, !YouTube,
You've not clicked on the thing.
YouTube. It will be up there in the next day or so, the completed version. As a prop, you could put the puppet behind the DM screen in future. The problem is DMing with Yusuf.
Excuse me.
Let's have the just chatting screen instead. Actually, there we go. Yeah, puppeteering is quite hard on your arm. Like I can do that in like 2-minute bursts, no more, because you're sitting. I have to sit with my arm fully extent straight up, and we used to do it professionally for a children's education company.
Like if you're doing it all the time,
and you get beefy shoulder muscles, but and like during
you got 2 puppets at once
during Pupperotica, like we do this for
support.
whereas that was just completely unsupported. But yeah, I've never DM'd as a puppet with a puppet.
I don't know how Randy does it. Randy is a stand-up puppet from Australia.
Stand-up comedian puppet.
You should look up. He's hilarious.
Oh, his work's brilliant. Yeah.
See if you can find Randy buys a cupboard off Gumtree.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, a bookshelf.
Bookshelf.
Randy buys a bookshelf. It's solid work. It's very, very funny story.
Oh no, they don't mean for D&D.
Randy Feltface. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, you could put him behind the DM screen in the video.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy J and Randy.
Yeah, Sammy J and Randy. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, and that is Yusuf. He is a sort of a persona of mine. Now, I guess. And the videos that'll be the 5th. And yeah, they go up on our YouTube sometime. So if you want to check them out there, check out more of Yusuf talking interesting but silly. Like it's supposed to be funny but silly.
And feel free to throw suggestions at us.
And yeah, if you have multi-class options, suggestions you like. But what about that build, right? Because I've been thinking like that had no small amount of thought put into it. And Ultimork the Uber Orc is an absolutely terrifying beast. Like I didn't roll particularly well on the stats. Like he has 220 hit points. So when he goes into a rage, effectively 440. His base stat rolls, what I got on the dice, 16, 17, 11, 13, 15, 15. Nothing. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good.
There's nothing really low.
There's nothing crazy low. So what was the build again? The build was 5 levels Barbarian, which is where you start. Then 2 levels Paladin. Then 10 levels Bard. And 3 levels of Champion Fighter.
In a half-orc shell.
And with a half-orc. So, on a crit, you are talking, with a Great Axe, 3d12 plus 7 straight up slashing damage. Then 10d8 smite damage by burning a 4th level spell slot. And 10d6 psychic blades damage from that 10 levels of Bard that you took College of Whispers in. The average being about 108.
It's so stupid.
It's absurd.
It's ridiculous.
And that's like, but you're also looking at, what's 5d6, 5d8. I mean, the thing is, you can only do the Psychic Blades 3-4 times. Yeah. Because you can only do it as many times as your Charisma modifier. But you're smiting on every single hit. Because you have 16 spell slots, and you're in a rage, so you can't use them on anything. Son of How to Make a Tabaxi Break the Sound Barrier. Oh, yeah, with multi-classing. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like Monk would be involved.
Yeah, monk, barbarian, rogue sort of thing. Yeah.
Monks can move stupid fast.
Monks are dumb. The next one I want to do is Ranger Monk. cross. Because they are, I would say, the two most underrated classes. People generally don't have a lot of time for rangers and monks, whereas I actually think they're dope.
I like ranger.
And they both depend on wisdom and dex. So an interesting cross-class. It's which way you go with it. Do you go a couple of levels of monk with the ranger, or do you go a couple of levels of ranger with the monk? A 5-5 Beastmaster Way of the Elemental monk, Way of the Element, 4 elements monk would be kind of dope. Monk with Eldritch Claw Tattoo is epic. I have a fairy monk with that, and he's multi-classing into druid. Neat. Yeah. Monk druid's dope. I have a video about that. Gloomstalker ranger. See, some of the subclasses for rangers are good. Are real good. Keren plays a Monster Hunter druid, Monster Hunter ranger. Very first AD&D village of Homelet was a ranger. Yeah, the very first character I ever played was a ranger. On paper, like, if you don't know shit about the game, rangers are great. Rangers sound like what you want to be. Like, I'm going to be going through this. They have a bunch of, if you don't know how the game works and you've never played it before, they have a bunch of abilities and things that sound like a really good thing to be and have and do. Like, they can live off the land, they can navigate really well. All of these are really good idea, but very few DMs actually, like, play it. Yeah, it's Aragorn. Yeah, exactly.
He's literally called Ranger.
Yeah,
so.
he's a ranger.
You know, we kind of come into the game wanting to embody our favourite fantasy character.
Yeah. I wanted to have a pet dragon. My DM said I could have a pseudo dragon as a Beastmaster companion. Crit and Miss rating as well. Hermes D&D. Hey, yo. Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Avast, mateys, you scallywags. Yeah, we are just talking multi-classes before we actually go on our own. But we can stick around and hang out and talk a little bit more. Yeah, so with Ultimork the Uberork, our level 20
stupid
barbarian paladin bard fighter cross class who can do 108 damage on a crit like every time he crits, and crits one hit in 5. Thank you very much. Crit and miss, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Favorite raid emotes up in chat.
Uberork doesn't miss. He only crits.
He misses a bit. There's a crit raid. But yeah, I was trying to think of other ways to do it, other ways to bring up a character that could do almost as much. Crit and miss, we have been playing Host, a game by the Ravens Ridge Emporium, and we really enjoyed it. Yeah. It's not out yet, so no one else can have it. But check out the VOD if you want to check it out. It is a 2-player game where you narrate the memories of a host. One of you is the host, and the other is a parasite who is trying to corrupt and consume their memories and take over their mortal form.
Yeah, with a nasty, nasty fungus.
And I didn't win. She beat me.
I beat you. It was total luck, though. If I'd drawn...
Well, there was 2 times the game would have ended. That we both times decided, no, I want the game to actually... Right, and I would have won if we played the second one. But I didn't want to win that way.
You wanted to beat me fair and square.
And then I didn't. I'm thinking of having a house rule that multi-classes must be within 1 level of each other. Ooh, so you enforce a cross-class situation where somebody makes... it sounds like a Star Trek race. Sounds like a Star Trek race. As in host? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. There was one as well. There was the symbiotes. The Dax symbiote, but I can't remember the name of the species. What's up, you art legend? Me, an art legend? Well, thank you very much. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we have just previewed our next YouTube video.
Which is why we're talking about multi-classing.
About
the stupidity of the Ultimork the Uberork.
Yes. So I put out a second option for it. it was just to promote role playing, not rule playing.
Ah.
Valid, completely valid. I mean,
this is why I don't multi-class a lot when I play, because I like to kind of I suppose I've never played a character where I felt I had a strong reason for it to be a multi-class.
the Trill, yes, that's it. The Trill, well done. Or the Gould, yes. Crispin Crunch, well remembered. Yeah, they were the Trill. Yes, correct. I feel like the Trill were the people they infected or lived in, and the Gould were the symbiotes. Because the Trill had their funky head tattoos. And one of them lived in Will Riker for a while because its original host had died, and he was like, "Oh, I'll get it, I'll take it," and they live in your stomach, a little bit, yeah. But yeah, we're talking about
Gold was Stargate apparently.
Oh, okay. It must be just the Trill then.
Which I've never watched.
What was I thinking? Yeah, but so I tried a second one. I did a second build. Which is 8 levels Paladin, 8 levels Artificer, 4 levels Fighter, which is a different way to do something very similar, because part of the trick is, if you ditch the Barbarian, you lose the ability to give yourself advantage on your attacks.
And you also lose the rage buff.
And it decreases your durability from the rage. Because this was the thing. I came up with several other ways to achieve something similar in terms of damage output, but nothing came close to being able to soak the damage as someone with 5 levels of Barbarian and then a very high con. Beast Totem Barbarians are just the soakiest, and you don't need many levels in Barbarian to be a good Barbarian. As I've said, like, I've written a bit for another video that Yusuf does, where he says, like, if you're going to multi-class at all and you don't know what to do, Barbarian. Regardless, there is not a class in the game that a level of Barbarian doesn't make better.
Unless
casters,
a total pacifist.
All offense, no defense against range. Yeah, there's that. But then I was like, oh no, my rage is gone. Now I can cast spells. Because you've got spells for days, is the other trick. So, yeah, and you've got 2 rages. Yeah, the second version of it, the 8 Paladin, 8 Artificer, 4 Fighter, has better stats because you manage to get all the ability score increases you would normally get. And also has the shield spell, and the Artificer, so that makes them quite a bit more durable. However, in a level 20 fight, the things you're going to be fighting are going to be able to beat an AC of 23 fairly often. So, yeah, you might use shields, but you'll burn your spell slots faster if you do. You'll also not be able to use your reactions, not that you necessarily could. But there's the Steel Defender. There's yeses and nos on it. With that build, I started with the big weakness that the Orc had, that Ultimorc, the Uber Orc has, is they have a very low wisdom. And a very low wisdom save, which is a problem. Because in high-level fights, they're going to be taking an awful lot of, okay, make this wisdom save, or you take a butt ton of damage.
Hilarious.
That you can half, but still.
Imagine if they managed to kill Ultimorc, the Uber Orc, just by...
Nuke them.
Passive.
Psychic damage. What's amusing is that, in fact, Ultimorc, the Uber Orc's biggest enemy, the worst thing for him to possibly fight would be himself, because every crit he does is a buttload of psychic damage. Rage and you won't be insta-charmed and turn around. That's true. Yeah.
It's like, to me,
do you love
all
a himbo?
people like jobs, except Barbarian, which is a lifestyle.
That's true.
Barbarian,
Warlock.
It's a lifestyle.
That's very true, actually. Yeah, I would say Monk is fairly lifestyle orientated.
It depends how strict you're gonna get.
Depends how you play it. I like that idea, though. That's very funny.
Death Cleric / Enchantment Wizard / College of Valor Bard.
Ooh, you guys are adorable.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's like you can.
I want to express that Josh has been ear bashing me with this for days.
What? It's for our
I'm
YouTube.
just trying to chill, and you're just like, I've thought of another way to do it. I'm like, please stop. Or make all of them, and then we put them in a death ball
and then
match.
they fight. Yeah.
We just put them all in the Mad Max arena, and they go at it until one of them survives. And
Not a bad thought.
And then they are crowned the Uber Orc. Ultimorc is not the Uber Orc until he's killed all the other ones.
I started multiclassing for the first time in Curse of Strahd, Ranger Druid. Good combo. See, the thing is, I started multiclassing after I found out how bad my Ranger was going to be, because I was Beastmaster before it got fixed.
Not how bad, just it wasn't working the way you were expecting it to.
It's just, I stand by the fact it was just underpowered. There is absolutely no good reason why they shouldn't have extra attack. Just isn't. The way they're built, that it's been sort of fixed now with the Beast of Land, Beast of Air, Beast of Sea thing. It's a better way, but they still don't have extra attack, which is fucking dumb, because
Josh just wants extra attack.
Every other Ranger subclass has it. And they're like, oh, but your Beast is getting the extra attack. Like, every time you attack, your Beast can use its reaction to attack as well. I'm like, fuck you, that uses its reaction. It shouldn't have to burn shit to get the extra attack. Oh, and the Beast should be getting better as you get better, was the original premise. I'm like, no, because I'm having a Beast that I'm emotionally connected with. That's the point. Why would I discard it? So I can just get something that does more damage. Drake Warden was the fix, and it does, and it can, and it has extra attack. And it gets so beastly that it can fucking ride its beast.
Yeah, Kate, I may have heard this before. Every now and again you start this rant, I'm like, honey, I've heard it before. I still agree with you.
I know, but new people haven't heard it.
No, yeah. You can enjoy the rant first time.
Anyway, yeah. So I actually kind of broke that character by multiclassing. Because... he's multiclass to hell and back. He's got a level of sorcerer and a level of rogue.
You just kind of went to town.
And I'm like, if I can't have it, I will have it another way. The look on the DM's face when I was like, fine, if I can't have extra attack, I'm going to get my hand axe out and make an attack with a bonus action. Fuck you.
And I'm just here slowly beefing up my fighter character, so do insane amounts of damage with one hit. Which is really frustrating whenever you get stuck at range, and I just can't. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I can keep shooting arrows at it or firing my pistol. It's like ping, and I'm like, please let me hit it with my axe.
Yeah.
This is what I'm good at. I'm good at one thing.
Switch from Beastmaster to Drake Warden, but I wish the bite was magic. Yeah.
That would be cool.
It gets magic.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, 50.
But yeah. Is there anything else we need to talk about? You may have spotted, the keen-eyed among you may have spotted our wonderful affiliates, Wooten Forge, in the tail end of that video.
Starring in our YouTube video.
This beautiful Wooten Forge dice keeper, that the dice tray was not large enough, as it turns out, to roll 23 dice simultaneously. I've managed it a couple of times. I was being deliberately careless, because it was funnier.
Though we had to do it a couple of times, because you weren't screwing it up enough.
Yes. If you would like a giant rolling tray to almost roll 23 dice in simultaneously, head on over to woodenforge.com/Corsair's Cove for some beautiful handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories made from exotic and Australian hardwoods.
And they do coins now as well.
Yeah. They are bloody champions, and they'll probably be down at Winterfest, D&D, Blackwood D&D Winterfest, where I will be, as will the dreaded GM, which is going to be super cool. I didn't realize he was going as well. And then they inadvertently, so amusingly, they accidentally just sent a message to all of us rather than BCCing us.
Oops.
So everybody knew who everybody else was. And Dread was like, wait, what's this about? And it was coming from the dreaded GM. And I was like, why is the dreaded GM responding then? Oh my fuck, you're going to be in it too? Sweet! I wouldn't otherwise have known it, so I'm really glad they cocked it up. Because then they send back like, oh, sorry guys.
Sorry, you all have each other's emails now. Our bad.
Australian, you say. Your host is from there randomly. Your host? Me?
I'm Australian.
We are Australian.
Yeah, but you're like you're
Oh, Crit and Miss is also Australian. Yeah. We are Australian too.
Josh is also British, though, if you're wondering about the voice.
I have an Australian passport.
Technically, I don't have any passport at the moment because it's expired.
Yes.
Strangely, I didn't feel any need to leave the country in the last few years.
Screams in Kiwi. Were you born in Australia? No, I was not born in Australia. I was born in a little country town in Somerset in England. But I it's more like I'm more Australian because I chose it. That's my line, and I'm sticking to it.
Whereas I was born here, raised here, and I'm probably gonna die here.
You chose
You chose the Australian verse.
I was born to this.
Molded by it, by the heat and the dust, the flies.
The flies. Saw the flies.
Yes, other side of the country, Australian. So effectively elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But lovely nonetheless, and very welcome here. Thank you.
If I drive for 6 hours, I still haven't left the state I live in.
Yeah. Whereas, if I drove for 6 hours in the country I was born in, I'd be in the water.
You can leave your country in 6 hours. I would just,
I used to live in Bath. Next door to Somerset. Yes, it is. My auntie lives in Bath.
Yeah.
Or used to, I think. She now lives in France, but my cousin...
used to live in Bath.
My cousin Olivia still lives in Bath. Yeah, it's a lovely place, Bath. Very fond of it. Firebombing fucking eagles. Yep, there is that too. So, we should probably go away from here now, because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while. We can get halfway to Scotland. Dude, if you started from, like, the upper half of England, you could get to Scotland. I drove from Reading, where we lived at the time, which was... It's only about an hour... It's about 2 hours to... top to bottom, England is about 8 hours to drive. Because we live...
Can't even get out of WA!
Yes. Whereas if you did that, you wouldn't even be at the southern end of the country.
No. I'll need to keep driving. It's a stupidly big place.
Yeah, we drove from Perth in Scotland, actually, to home in 7 hours. And that was Reading is an hour west of London. So they're like bottom end of England. It's not a big country.
Whereas if you drive 24 hours basically non-stop, you can get to Adelaide.
Yeah. Terrace could get to Melbourne in maybe 8 hours. Yeah.
There used to be an overnight bus to Adelaide. It's basically 24 hours on the bus, which sounds like hell.
If I started at midnight and there was no traffic. Yeah. They say nowhere in the UK is more than an hour from the sea. Ooh. 2.5, maybe? Depends on the traffic and where you're trying to go.
If you're in London, you're definitely more than an hour from the sea because it takes so long to drive out of London.
XCat Darkness. The answer to your question is you ask nicely or wait until the stream has ended.
And then Josh goes.
And then I go, click. You are now verified, my friend.
You can tell everybody that we should tax the rich.
Apologies. Yes, I normally only check it at the end. SD, hey buddy. Good to see you. Thank you very much. We're doing exceptionally well. We have had a lovely stream full of lovely people. We'll have no trouble here. I'm going to cut back to it because we were playing Host by the wonderful Ravens Ridge Press. It is this game. Check out the artwork on it.
Soon. It's finished its Kickstarter and will be released soon.
Yes. We will put the video up on the tube. It's a very, very cool little game. It's a 20-page PDF currently. This may not be the very, very final. But yeah, this is Host by Brandon Lee. And it's really good fun. It's very exciting. Unfortunately, you are coming in again at the end of our stream.
We're about to go away.
We're about to go away and raid somebody, but we will hand you over to someone who is doing some excellent D&D. I think it actually would be, seeing as AJ and Tate are mentioned in this game, I think it would be a good idea to drop a raid on Winter's Tales.
They are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
They are playing D&D. So if you're looking for some excellent D&D and you're sad you missed us doing so, we will be back on Thursday night for more Humblewood of Monsters and Magic, and we will chuck you on over to AJ and Winter's Tales for some Chronicles of Aelwyn, I imagine. That's what they normally do on Tuesday night. So guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I've been Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel Corso's Cove, which I run with my lovely lady wife, the Mother of Bunnies. But you know that because you've done it already. Good job. Keep doing it. Keep finding me here. And you can check me out on my podcast, There Be Dragons.
Yes.
Where I play Scan Felspar, the poorly optimized Ranger Sorcerer Rogue. And where Keren plays...
Roland Westfall, who is a dragonborn warrior. Because I rarely multi-class. And she's fine. Just as she is. She hits things with her axe and they usually die. It's great. Yeah, I'm a performer and writer. You can follow me on Twitter. Or you can follow my burlesque alter ego, Miss Voldemort, over on Instagram. And if you live in Perth, Western Australia, I actually have a show on Saturday night at the Nostalgia Bar, which is full of retro and arcade games, and we're going to do a burlesque show. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so if you do live in Perth and you're bored on Saturday night, come on down. I am bringing back my Austin Powers act.
We have a YouTube. We have a Discord. We have all the exclamation mark socials. Find us there on any of the things. Check us out on the YouTube. If you want to see more of the YouTube, the use of videos, this one will probably be released in the next day or so, about the ultimate multi-class, Ultimorc the Uber Orc. Yeah. I think that's about it. So we'll go and raid AJ now. Guys, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell AJ where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. And we will see you same bat time, same bat channel on Thursday night for more D&D. How exciting. Guys, say goodbye, Keren.
Bye, everybody.